because like all the shit happened. After this, it was very late. Next. We were part of Norway until the Kalmar Union was established in 1397, and then Iceland was a part of Norway and Denmark, and a part of Sweden or something like that. Next. Then the Black Death came and just like killed everybody, except for people in the West Fjords, because everybody that travels in Iceland were trying to get to, they were trying to get to the West, would die before getting there, so it never came to the West, so that was nice. It also came back a few years later and killed half of the population again. So it was not the best time, I would say. Okay, next. Then the dissolution of Kalmar happens. Next. And Denmark took over Iceland. We were under Denmark. The real shit begins. They banned music and dancing. Whoa! They allowed singing in churches, so that was, I guess, fine. But like we have no instruments. Iceland has no instruments from that time. None. We were just singing. That's why me and my brother don't know instruments. That's the reason. We're keeping our traditions. We just sing. Yeah. They put up a monopoly in Iceland, the Danes, which meant that we could not do business with any country except for Denmark. And they would send Danish people to Iceland, like rich people, and you would just get a merchant, let's say Christian is an Icelander. Christian would get Niels to be his Danish guy, and then Niels could be like, you know, you want to buy these sausages, you have to pay more. You have to pay more than all the others. And Christian would not be allowed to do business with any other merchant. He would only have Niels, which would suck a lot. So Icelanders were done for, had no money, and all the rich people in Iceland were Danish people. Horrible time to be alive. And the Danes would also send us bad grain. They would be like, oh, this grain has gone bad. What do we do with it? Do we throw it away? No, just send it to Iceland. They'll eat it. Yeah. Next. Yeah. We were Catholic up until this point. And we had been Catholic for a while. And the Norwegians had told us, like, okay, if you're going to be Catholic, you have to put all of your gold in churches and keep it there. All of the nice gold you have. And then the Denmark took us over, and they were like, you know what? Fuck Catholics, we're gonna be Lutheran for now. We're gonna be Protestant. And they were like, they sent people to Iceland to rob all of the gold because they knew where it was. So we lost all our gold, and they beheaded our Catholic bishop, Jón Arason, who is my ancestor in the 14th December. Like, they killed my family. Not okay, and they killed them in front of the church. Like it was the law. Like it was just not something you would do. Kill someone when you could see a church, because you could not allow God to see a murder happening. But they just killed him right outside the church, and his 2 sons. But yeah, sad. Rest in peace, Jón Arason. Next. Yeah, and then it was just a horrible time to be alive. Like really, the last 500 years. Pirates from the Barbary states, Algeria, they came to the Western Islands, which I talked about earlier, and like as if they didn't have it shit enough already, they kidnapped them and forced them into slavery. So, and we are still not over it. We are still talking about, oh fuck, they robbed these people and they tried to get us, but they didn't. Well, they didn't get us. They were called the Turks. Yeah, they were called Turkish, but they were actually from Algeria. But yeah, so it was called the Turkish robbery. Let's get on it. Next. Then, if it wasn't even shit enough already, 25 to 35% of the population died again from a storable, which was just a very bad disease. It got talent. And this is a picture of Stora Bola. Like, it looks like shit. It's horrible. And then Skafta Elda happened. And Skafta Elda are the worst, like, disaster of Iceland, kind of, because we could not see the sun for 2 years. Yes. Horrible time to be alive. So 90% of the animals died and 20% of the entire population. And the thing is, Iceland was a very small country. We were always 60,000 people, and then a plague would come and we would die. And we would get back to 60,000 and then we would die. And then we would get back to 60,000 and then we would die. Like, it was just again and again and again and again. Like, we couldn't do anything. And the Danish, they were, I'm gonna talk about later, I have another slide for that. I will have another slide. But Iceland was still influential. We were a small country, but we were still very influential. So the thing is, because of this eruption, this huge eruption that made so that we could not see the sun for 2 years, like the ash cloud went over Europe, and it went to France. And the harvest failed in France. And the peasants were like, I am hungry. And the nobility said, why don't you just eat cake? And next slide please. Yes! The French Revolution would not have happened without us. We started, it was such a shit time to be alive. We were like, the Danes are not doing a good job. They were not taking care of us. They banned dancing, they banned music. Like, it's just not a good time. So we were trying to become independent. And one English guy called Jörgur Hundadalsborgur. Jörgur Hundadalsborgur. It's a very easy name. It's a very easy name. It's like, if I was direct translated, it means that Jörgur the Dog Day King. Dog Day King. I don't know why. Hundadagar is so good. Hunddag. I knew that already. No, but he was like, I'll take care of you guys. He was just a random Englishman. He came to Iceland and was like, can I be your king? He just asked the farmers that, and they just said, oh, sure. I guess. So he became like the king of Iceland, and then the Danish people were like, you can't do that. And so they hunted him down and put him in jail for like 3 years. Because it's illegal to become a king. You can't do anything nowadays, really. But our city was moved from Sindri to Reykjavik. So like where we would meet and hold our conferences and shit like that. So next slide. Skúli Fjólar. So the Danish, they weren't completely unsympathetic to ourselves. They knew very well that everybody was dying. They knew very well, and they were like, what the fuck should we do about Iceland? And they were like, maybe we should just like send our ships and like just pick them up. And then just send them to Jutland, to Sindri or some shit. And just keep them there, and then they can be like sheep farmers there. But this guy, Skúli Fjólar, he had a better idea. And he said, why don't we just create an urban area? No, it's, yeah. When people move close together. Urban area. So he made it so he moved the bishop from Skálholt to this, he moved Þingvellir to Reykjavik, he moved everything to Reykjavik so that people would come to Reykjavik to live there, so we wouldn't fucking die all the time. Because it was just not a nice time to be alive, really. And it became the capital of Iceland in 1786, which helped a lot for our cause for independence. And next slide. That's Jón Sigurðsson. Daddy. He is our daddy. He was like the biggest fighter for our independence. He was just all the time, he's writing books, poetry, shit like that. All the time, just to get some attention. And he was like one of the reasons why we got the Constitution. We got our first Constitution in 1874. And his birthday is now Independence Day, but he fell down the stairs at night. So that was... related to me in the 9th and the 3rd, so like we are also related. So I have nobility and fighters in my veins. Next. Yes, this is me, my mate. It means stop looking at her, she does not deserve your attention. Look in my eyes. Nipples are temporary. The Icelandic Republic is forever. Okay, so urbanization, we got the Industrial Revolution, people started gathering in Reykjavik because like we didn't want to die. And then we got the Öskugos in 1875. And that was a shit. That was a very shit volcanic eruption. And people in Iceland were kind of fed up. So a lot of people said just fuck it, and they just did to Canada. And when I say a lot of people, I mean 25% of our population. So yeah, like this was in 1875, so like that was not very fun, I have to say, for us. But next. Yeah. So the World War I did not matter. We were just like vibing in our dirt houses. Because we didn't even have fucking wood at this point. Like no, trees left Iceland in like the 1500s or something. Iceland, when we got to Iceland, I know, it's just a horrible place to live. We got this, like, when we got to Iceland first, like, it was covered in trees. But, like, we didn't plant them again or something. And, like, they just, like, depleted over time. And then in 1500, like, they were just all gone. And we had very harsh wind. And because the trees weren't, like, holding the good soil down, all of the soil got, like, chucked into the ocean. So we could not grow food from 1500. So like that. So that's also a reason why everybody was dying all the time. You know, it was just horrible.
Maybe you guys should have moved where the food is.
Yeah, but we should have made move. But like, we couldn't afford it really.
Wood for the ship is gone.
Yeah, we didn't have wood for the ships. we were stuck. We were fucking stuck. Yeah, but like 1918 was a very bad year. I'm talking about a lot of bad years, I have to say, but like 1918 was a very bad year because like we got the Spanish flu then, and we also got the worst winter in history. We got the worst winter. It was like minus 35 degrees in some places with wind. Like that would kill you in your house, really. Like that. Like the fire could not help you there, really. And but we got sovereignty on December 1st. Like we could like govern ourselves. So yay! Like our fight for independence finally like did something. So we got sovereignty. So that was really nice. So next. World War II was unironically the best shit that has ever
Iceland became like an okay place.
Yes. No, like really, it's amazing. Like Britain invaded in 1940. Like, and when I say invaded, like they invaded us. They very much intended to like take us by force. But like when they got there, we helped them off their ships. Like, like welcome. Nice to see you. Why are you here? You know. But, and then the USA took over from Britain in 1941, and that was kind of funny because like USA was not in the war at this point, and they were very like neutral because they couldn't be in the war at this point. This was before Pearl Harbor, and like the thing is, like they were still very much trying to help Britain, but like not being like official about it. So like they had our government like invite the USA to take over the occupation of Iceland. Like, so, like, oh my god, yeah, just like, oh yeah, we can just occupy you, it's just like very peaceful, we're not like taking sides or anything. So they came in 1941 and they built roads, oh my god. We got roads and they built an airport and very shit traffic lights. No, I mean, just like the traffic in Iceland, like, is horrible. The roads, it's like, it's so American. We don't have any trains. We have no trains.
I think we have like maybe like 10 meters of a railway.
Yeah, 10 meters more than we did 100 years ago. So that's good. Yeah, but after World War II, it was like there was this thing. Like America was like, oh my God, like Europe is in fucking ruin. What we can do like this? Like we should, and also like we don't want communism to spread, so maybe we should try to make things good in Europe, you know. So they started like giving out enormous amounts of money to rebuild Europe. And Iceland got a part of that money. But like the thing is, nothing had happened in Iceland the entire war. So we could build houses, we could industrialize. Like Iceland industrialized really in 1945. Yes. Like no, like I was shown a picture in my history class. It's like there was a picture of a young girl next to a Dutch house, and like the photos in black and white, and the teacher was like, what year do you guys think this was taken? And they were like, okay, it's 1887, you know, like 1910, 1904, something like that. No, this was taken in 1950, and this is my mother. So we were very poor, very poor, but like we also got the baby boom and stuff like that. So next slide. Oh! We're gonna do our song. It's a very favorite song of mine. It takes place, it's a story. It's a story about a woman. Yeah, it's a story about a woman. Her name is Magga. And she lives in a brakki. A brakki is this. That is a brakki. Like the army built a lot of these houses while they were here in Iceland and stuff like that. And then when they left, like when they were here, like they built it for Icelanders as well. So it was nice. But the thing is, Iceland is very cold. So they needed to heat it up. And how do they heat it up? With oil. And Magga, she lived in a brakki. And she afforded the heat by, afforded the oil by selling herself to the soldiers. But then she gets old and the soldiers don't want to buy her anymore, and then she freezes to death. So this is the song, Magga Blues. That's good practice. Yeah, we haven't, they have not rehearsed this, that's the thing, it's really fun. I think we're going to sing this. It's like a blues style. Okay, now nobody knows this song. That's amazing. So they're just gonna follow me. Cool.
Sure. Okay.
because Denmark was occupied by the Germans. So they were not like, there was not much contact in between. So we were basically going ourselves. And yes, very good, nice, very nice. And like in 1944, it was like, it looked like we were gonna win the war. So we were like, okay, should we just like ask the people like if we should be independent? And everybody said yes, let's be independent. And then they said like, hey, Denmark, we have like kind of agreed on, we're just going to be independent from now. You can't really do anything about it right now, you're in the war. So fine. So we became independent, like that. So that was really nice. They had no say in the matter. So that was really nice. Next. And then we joined NATO. Iceland joined NATO in 1949, and there was a very big fight in Östervöllur. It's like where the shit happened, like politically or something. And there was a really big fight between the communists and the far right, and like and the police was with the far right and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, our grandfather was in that fight punching police officers. and yes. It was really fun. Like he was just on his way from school and he saw there was a fight, so he wanted to join it. Exciting! Yeah, like you've seen my lineage, it makes sense.
Yeah. This fight is the only, and this has been the only time in Iceland's history that they've ever used tear gas. Yeah, that's how bad the fight was. Yeah.
We have always, and they were like afterwards, like maybe we should have more than like 20 police officers. Anyway, next slide. Okay. There was a crisis in the 60s. Like our family is these are my grandparents, our grandparents. Like I'm sorry that Sindri is not with me on the slide, but like it's not possible to have that. But both of our grandmothers. They were working in fish when they were 9 years old. And that was like very okay in Icelandic culture. Like the kids like, no, school. They have to work in the fish. You know, like why don't they just work in the fish? They have to work in the fish. Because fish was like the biggest export of Iceland. It was like all the money was in fish. So and the herring. But then we got a little greedy. And we kind of like fished it so much that it just died out in our area. And the town where where these grandparents are from, or this part of the family, yeah, the left, like they lived there, and it was like a really big fishing town then. And now it's just like 1,200 people, and like it's a very beautiful town, very beautiful. But like I've seen a picture where there are thousands of ships in the fjord, and that's kind of crazy to me. But like it was a very hard time for those that losing the fish, because like you couldn't really get any money and you were just out of a job, and everybody was kind of depressed. Like their way of life had just been destroyed, just like that. And yeah, so next slide. I think I'm gonna get to that. Oh no, I'm actually not gonna get to that. Go back. The thing is, their way of life had been destroyed so much that like a lot of people committed suicide in Iceland, and it was just a thing. It was just like because everybody was so depressed, and like there was no life anymore in those towns that you had seen there was such life, and everybody just had to move to Reykjavik. So that's when most of the population moved to Reykjavik in the 60s, something like that. And then that brings me to my next slide. That's Bubbi Morthens. Bubbi Morthens is one of the most influential Icelandic musicians of all time. Foreigners don't like him, and I understand why, completely, because his lyrics reflect Iceland's culture incredibly well. He's like people have tried to cancel him over the years because he's always saying some dumb shit. He's still alive today, and he's always on Twitter, writing yeah, he's on Twitter. But the thing is, he's basically uncancelable because his lyrics are always so good. Then he releases a song and it's like, oh my god, this says so much about the socio-economic state of Iceland. It's I hate him, but oh my god, no, he's not a horrible person or anything. He's just an asshole. That's the thing. He's not a... Huh? He's just a boomer. Yes. He's just a boomer. But he had a horrible childhood, and he worked in fishing in those verbúðir. And there was just like very abusive workplaces where like you would sleep in a room with like 20 people, not have a shower, and if there was a shower, you might get electrocuted by it. Yes, that's the thing that was happening. And it was very shit, and they maybe had one television if they were lucky. And he would just play his guitar all the time, and he was troubadour, and he got famous, and like was so good. So the next song we're gonna take is called Romeo and Julia, and that's about addiction. It's about two lovers that are heroin addicts. And I don't know, I just remember now that I don't know the lyrics to it. But I have some.
If you learn to play the guitar,
You can play all of his songs.
Iceland, like this is your go-to person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is does very good songs. So let's do it.
I've been drinking a bit, so
Yeah.
That song is like basically like in English class.
Yes.
It's what's it called? Like hugsa sem maður basically var að hugsa út í þýðingur og eitthvað þar.
Oh, in Danish class,
No, Danish, what?
In Icelandic class, they're like dwelling into the lyrics and like deciphering them because it's just so good.
Nota bene.
Nota bene. Anyway, they're out of the cod horse.
Christian shit.
No, the cod horse.
Christian shit.
Cod horse. They're a very funny thing that happens in Iceland. So like the cod is a fish. Christian maybe knows about this. You don't. I'm so sorry. It was against. We fought 3 wars against the English in the 1970s. If the other Christians say it's a cod on the list of wars. Yeah. Yes, but the thing is, it's a very big thing in Iceland. It's like a very funny thing because like we had like what 10 miles or something, 10 sea miles or something of territory, and the English were coming into that territory to fish our fish. Not nice. So we were like, we started like sending out boats to like cut down their nets and like do it, and then, like they were ramming each other or something like that. And so there was like a war basically. We were ramming their ships, they were ramming ours and stuff. And then we were like, we told America, we were like, hey, if you don't give us just, if you don't tell those fuckers to fuck off, then we will leave NATO. And they were like, oh no, don't leave NATO, please. They will leave. And also here, more territory for you. Here you go, more territory. So we got more sea miles. So it went from like 10 sea miles to like 60 or something. So but then the fucking English take back. So we started ramming them again, and then we got that again. And fuck you, Christian. It's not okay. And then we said, hey America, if you don't tell them to fuck off, we will leave NATO. And they were like, no, don't go, please don't go. Like, let's sort this out. I will tell them to leave, and here we got more territory. So it went from 60 to 100. So I was like, okay, very nice. And then those fuckers came for the 3rd time. Third time. And we said, America, can you? And they were like, no, sure thing. And here you go, 300 sea miles. And now we have 300 sea miles. This affected a lot of like politics, like with the sea miles and everything like that. Because now every country has like a set amount of sea miles that they have. So the Norwegians really like us. Because they have more territory than they did. So that's really nice. So that's the cod wars. The thing is, it's called the cod wars because like the English newspapers, they like picked up the stories like they're like fighting. So they made it like as a joke. They put it in the papers, the cod wars, and stuff like that as a joke. You know, they were basically just making fun of us. And then Icelanders, we got the newspaper, and we were like, yeah, Iceland! Iceland! It was not a joke to us. Not a joke at all. So yeah, those were the cod wars. Next, Iceland in the Cold War was pretty chill. Yeah, like not much happened. Like we were just a pawn of America, of course, and like a big thing. One of the big things that happened was that like America and the USSR were like in a like they were always in a I better than you competition. Like I don't know what it's called, like pissukeppni.
Big
Yeah, pissing contest. Yes, pissing contest. Yeah. Like and they were doing it in chess. And like the USSR was always beating the Americans. Always beating them. But then the Americans got one guy who was called Bobby Fischer. And Bobby Fischer was just genius. He was so good that he could beat the Russians. And they were going to have a tournament between world champion USSR and the challenger, the USA. And they decided to have it in the middle of both those countries, which was Iceland. So yeah, it's like a very big thing happening. Yeah. And Bobby Fischer ended up defeating the world champion, becoming the world champion, which was a huge thing because the propaganda machine was like, oh my god, let's go, oh my god, this is so nice. But he was a really good player. And yeah, then Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev, they met for like a meeting when they were like disarming, and they met in Iceland as well. Like that's like the neutral ground basically for it, because we were just right in between the nations. So it was nice, but like everybody was afraid, of course. Like they were like sad, like, oh, nuclear war might be going off. So not yes, don't get a heart attack or something. Yeah, but next slide really.
You can actually, that house that they're in and is still standing is like preserved. And you can go see it. I don't know if you can go inside, but...
We started building houses in like the 1950s. Yay. No. So, feminism in Iceland. Very big thing. So like, in World War II, Iceland was working, like it had a 100% employment rate. And that was like, it was the women and the men, because like, we're such a small country, we were helping with like doing stuff because like the Americans were just giving us jobs. We were working really nice. And after the war, like we just kept doing it. But like the women, they were now keeping care of the kids and working a full-time job and stuff like that. And then in the 1970s, it kind of just like broke, and women just went on strike. They just went on strike, like from everything. All women in Iceland stopped doing everything. That means taking care of the kids, taking care of the, going to work. Like yeah, they were like, I'm not gonna take care of the kids today. I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna cook you dinner. I'm not gonna do it. One day, everything went to shit. Everything went to shit in Iceland, and so they were like, oh, wait, okay, we'll give you more labor because they had such shit pay. Like they were like, yeah, men get paid more than women because men are smarter than women, and so But because of this, we got, women in Iceland got a lot more power, which was really nice. And the Red Sox movement was really big. They got a lot of women in parliament, like just a lot of them. It was called the Women's List. And it worked very well. Like, it was like women in Iceland were getting shit done. And then we elected our first democratically elected female president of all time in Iceland in 1980. Oh, the whole world. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she was elected in Iceland, not the whole world. But yeah, she was the first female president ever elected. So that was really cool. And Iceland is still like the most equal country in the world when it comes to LGBTQ rights and women's rights and stuff like that, which is really nice. It's nice being number one, but like we kind of let that get it into our heads because Iceland is not perfect at all when it comes to these issues. And that's what I study. I study sociology, and it's very interesting how people, because we are the best in the world at it, it's like, no, I can't be sexist. We're the best. Like, we're the least sexist country. How can I be sexist? It's like that kind of stuff, you know. So it's not perfect. Anyway, next slide. Music in the 80s. That was like a big thing. In sociology, I'm writing a lot to music, especially music in Iceland. And I always have to fucking write about the same fucking things all over again, and that is the 80s in Iceland. That's a Rocky Reykjavik. That's Rocky Reykjavik. That's a documentary film which was made then, and it's amazing. I do recommend you watch it if you ever want to check out Icelandic music in the 80s, because this was the most influential thing ever. That is a picture of Björk. Do you know Björk? Yes. That is Björk, 15 years old, in that movie, playing music. And like they're all punk bands, and they're all just like Fuck the System, and Big Mortis is also in that movie and stuff like that. And this time period, it's not in English, of course not, but like it has English subtitles. Everybody here knows how to read, I think. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, it was the most influential shit ever happened in Iceland, because like we're still getting stuff just because of that period. So it's a really cool thing. And we had one radio station for a very long time. Scout, yeah. We had one radio station, the national radio station, and they would only play fucking classical music. And the youth was fucking losing their minds. Because they couldn't get anything else. I mean, there's nothing wrong with classical music. I don't want to preach to the choir. But they were not very much thinking about the youth. They didn't want to play rock music or music from other countries. Just at all. Just classical music and was from other countries. And but we had a radio station from the army, for the army base, and that would play American music. That was really nice. And my mother, she lived in like the north of Iceland, and she would go on a mountain with her radio to try to get a signal from that radio station. Yeah, so I think it's a interesting thing. I don't know, it's cute. But in 1986 we got another radio station, so that was really nice. We got another one, and because 1 hour on Saturday we got American music, and it was so popular that we were okay, let's just make a radio station for it finally. And then they just played like new music, and it was really nice and stuff like that. So yeah, Music Till the Next is just a band competition. It has spotted bands like Of Monsters and Men, and Mammut, and like a lot of other bands, like good bands. Like it's like the most like young talents out there. It's really nice. We really do take care of our musicians. Iceland is a very rich music culture. Anyway, next. Björk. Let's talk about Björk for a minute. Who is that? Björk was 6 years old when she like debuted her first album. 6 years old, but like that was kind of a she was all made for her, and she hates that album because like she was literally just put in the studio, sing, and that was her album. But then she started writing, and she wasn't okay, like 15 years old, screaming fuck the system and shit like that. And she got very famous in '93 when she released a debut album after being in the Sugar Cubes. Does anybody know the Sugar Cubes? Somebody knows the Sugar Cubes. Yeah, that was a band in the 80s. And then she became a superstar, amazing, and like very environmentally just active and just a very cool person. And she is related to me in the faith. Not to Sindri, like he's more distant. Okay, next. Now it's the 2008 economy crisis. You have heard about that? It was not fun. It was not very fun. Everybody got poor in Iceland for a very long time. Like this is the stock market in Iceland, and then in 2008, and then it just goes. Yes. It happened because corruption, and I was interviewing a guy the other day who is the first gay man in Iceland who like came out of the closet, like who was basically was gay. He had to flee the country because people were trying to kill him for being gay, and then he founded like the Gay Rights Association in Iceland, and then that worked out. And when this happened, he went to like that place where the picture is. He just went there and he told people, just come, I want to chat about what's going on, because everybody was just so confused about what's going on, and he just told people to come, like just to come talk to him. And like he was telling people who lost everything for nothing, basically, like just because. And then he ended up organizing a protest that lasted 5 months, where they would protest every single Saturday. 10,000 people would show up every Saturday outside Parliament to just scream at the government, and then it worked out. We got the government to resign, and we put some of the people responsible for the economic loss, for the corruption, in jail. So that was really nice, you know.
So we have jails!
Yeah, good thing. We have jails, yes. We have jails. I just lied about it to Irish people. Yeah, but it was the biggest banking collapse in the history of the world. And we were 50 billion euros in debt. Yes, that's like a lot bigger than our GDP. We are not very big. Yes. Anyway, that's next slide. I'm gonna read the rest. Okay, so what happened after that? Iceland in Eurovision 2009. That's catch this one. I have not forgiven you for this. If you guys are not familiar with Eurovision, Iceland is very fucking familiar with Eurovision. It's like a national holiday, basically. It's like you guys are like, oh Eurovision, like, yeah, so crazy, but like Iceland is like, let's go! We get the same voice as all the other countries. We are big. Yes, so it's like, and we have never won the competition, and it looks like we are going to win because we have such a good song. And then Alexander Rybak, the Norwegian pimp, I don't know, he decided to drop the best Eurovision song of all time the same year. It's not okay. Fairy tale. It's a banger. It's a banger, and I can't.
It's still played in the clubs in Iceland today.
I don't go to the clubs unless they play fairy tale. It's that good. It's that good. Yeah. And then we had what happened then? I mean, we were born. We had school at this time, and we had. I mean, Eurovision is really big in Iceland. We are. Our great artist academy, but was Daði Freyr, like he got big because of Eurovision. Yeah. He got great, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
That was fine.
It didn't quarter of the population?
It did not get a quarter of the population. We finally reached. We didn't die this time, so that was great. No, it was really chill for me, COVID. It was really chill, and yeah. And then, yeah, like I don't have to talk about it. I think I don't want to talk more about Icelandic history, but like let's now sum it up and let's talk about the pros and the cons of Iceland. So, the pros of Iceland. Okay, next slide. We have a very nice náttúra. Náttúra. We have a very nice náttúra. It's
Without trees, though.
Yeah,
We're growing them back very slowly, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
We have wanted. All trees in Iceland are man-made. All trees in Iceland are man-made. If you see a tree, it was not there. It was put there. It's like it was adopted, basically. Yeah, we have very pretty nature, and it works very well for us for tourism and everything like that. And it's kind of boring to me, I have to say. Like, it's like. When you live in this place, it kind of gets old, you know, it's just normal. And then I go to other countries and I'm like, wow, trees, you know, you had to see me when I got here. Like I was with cello player and video player. Are they here?
I don't think so.
No. But they were like, what like, I was losing my shit over the height of the trees when I was going.
Yeah.
Such big trees. Anyway, next.
For me, it's like the little things. Like if there's a dam, like a very old dam in the north of Iceland in Siglufjörður, and that was like the first time I was like, holy shit, this is actually very beautiful. Even though it's man-made, it's still like I see clearly through the water. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, this is a picture of
the place.
Yeah, this is still like it. Yes, I can write it down later for you. Next. This is Geysir.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty. I don't know exactly. It just like shoots water up. I don't like it. Just every tourist goes there and like, oh my god, so cool. Next. That's us with our family. We hiked through the volcano, stayed there for 20 minutes, and we were like, let's go home.
It took like 2 hours to get there.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
And then I went home, like I picked up a burger, I ate it, and then I fell asleep with like the remains of it on me because it was such a hard hike. Next. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Next. It's so beautiful. And then we have the geothermal energy. It's amazing. We just have hot water. We can take as long of a shower as we want to. It's amazing. Anyway, next. Yeah, we have have very good civil rights, like I was talking about, and like we had another strike, women's strike, like we did in 1975. We did it again last summer.
Yeah.
The rights of women are not so great. So like, yeah, it was good. Okay, next, Eurovision. This is what should have won Eurovision if Alexander Rybak had not been born.
No.
Yes. That's Hatari. I really like Hatari. Very cool. They were in Eurovision 2019. And they did BDSM Technopop. Yeah, they did BDSM Technopop. Not DSM like this one. No, but yes.
According to the judges of Eurovision 2020, I think.
We would have won Eurovision in 2020 as well, but COVID happened.
Yeah.
We have a very good musical tradition. That's a problem. Next. Now is a cause. Okay.
The vibe.
The vibes. We don't see the sun, like, I don't know, we don't see the sun for like 3 months. And then it comes back and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot I could feel happy.
Yeah. Like literally, I've told some people this, like, just like a month ago or something, I was walking to my car going to class. And I said to myself, wow, I haven't felt this good in a while. Wow, this is, it's just because the sun is up, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just because the sun is up. Seasonal depression. Get your vitamin D, folks. You have to do it. Yeah, you gotta do it. And then there's also just, like, the weather is horrible. The weather is horrible in Iceland, I have to say. The wind is so crazy. When I lived in Norway, I was like always like, why is there no wind? And then I found out that wind is not like always horrible wherever you are. It's just in Iceland. So we have sideways rain, sideways snow, sideways, everything. It's just, it's not nice. It's cold, it's rough, it's dark. Everybody knows you. You're related to everyone. You have to like figure out if you're related to the girlfriend or not. I've done that. Like I've used the app like to check all of my like partners in Iceland. But like, it's